IMSA fans, we are here at the glorious Watkins Glen International, just back from the 24 Hours of Le Mans. IMSA President John Doonan. We're going to do one of our walk and talks, a whole thing you came up with. Talk about this amazing track. We've got drivers doing their track walk right now, trying to learn about any little things they can, any changes to the track from year to year. There's some other cool changes too, just to mention right off the bat, John, and that is IMSA's YouTube channel is opening itself up more and more. International viewers able to capture live racing events here in the US through that. Plus, recently we've seen big reaction. Porsche Carrera Cup North America going live on IMSA's YouTube channel. So, Mr. International Traveler, tell me about these developments here.
Well, first, terrific to be back at Watkins Glen, a place where IMSA has insanely big history dating back to the 70s, and love the story Peter Gregg racing with Hurley, and Hurley talking about coming here and never being at this track, and what a historic place this is for us, and a huge crowd here on site for a Thursday, and we've had a couple practice sessions, but that's about it. So we're in store for a great weekend. But you're exactly right. Besides a huge crowd here, significant viewership increases on NBC and Peacock, we have opened up IMSA races on YouTube to international viewers only, so geo-blocked here in the US, and we're seeing a significant uptake without even promoting it. So we're really proud of that. It shows that the I in IMSA stands for international. We have a huge fan base around the world, and people are taking interest. Besides, as you mentioned, the Carrera Cup races, obviously the WeatherTech Championship races, but when the weekend is there, we had a great first season focusing on GTP. Now we're all about GT.
So we're doing this out here, not just to show you the beautiful blue on the trackside fencing, but because this, like a couple of tracks that we go to each year, it is a camping first event, and folks just absolutely love bringing, whether it's just their tent, full little motor home, something to trail behind them. It's a big part of the fun and culture here at Watkins Glen.
This is the heart of who we are. And I remember as a young boy doing this exact thing at places like Road America, places like Road Atlanta, places like Brainerd, Minnesota. Yeah. And these folks have had the same camping spots for years. We know that is the same at Daytona and at Sebring. They're here despite the weather, despite the forecast, because they're so passionate about what IMSA and what our product stands for.
Hello.
How are you,
IMSA
Mark?
family.
Wow, it's a pleasure.
Truly is.
It's an absolute pleasure.
Tell us about this. Nobody sets up their trailers here next to the bus stop by mistake.
No.
This is truly folks who know and love their IMSA. How long have y'all been camping here? How much part of this is family generations?
Right in this area, close to what, maybe 20
10
years?
years. No, well, 10 years in this spot specifically.
Yes, we've been coming here for
10 years in
for
this spot
longer, but in this spot, probably 10 or more, yes.
And we got onto it by total luck, total chance. John?
The IMSA Yeti.
People have asked if that was like custom or something. I put the sticker on it that well.
That is amazing.
Yeah.
Tell us about the culture of not just buying a ticket to be in a grandstand, but this, from campsite to campsite, this becomes a real community each year.
Yeah, we know everybody in here.
Yep.
We've seen them for years.
Tell us about that, because you might not see folks the other 51 weeks of the year, but I gotta believe this is a little bit like family, and hey, Fred's over here and Sue's over there.
Exactly what it is.
Absolutely.
Exactly what it is, yes.
Yeah, 100%.
And I think what I've seen over the years, and you guys can back this up, people have done that, and they come to the race and share that weekend together, but they stay in touch throughout the year. They share Christmas cards, they celebrate birthdays, they know each other as families. So maybe neighbors at the racetrack, but common passion is IMSA.
Yeah.
And that's what we stand for. That's at the heart of who we are,
Yeah.
and families and camping and being together at the racetrack is, I think, what most people want to be part
Yeah.
of.
We would get pictures that the gentleman here would take of us. He was big into photography. He passed away just before this event last year, and he was here. So, you know, he sent us pictures and stuff, and he's not here with us anymore, unfortunately, but his family is. So, yeah, it's
Generations and
yes,
generations.
yes.
So John, coming home from Le Mans, there's some great things taking place there in France, one of them being all of the IMSA teams really, I think, represented the WeatherTech Championship so well. There's also great news of an extension of the LMDH regulations we call GTP here, and there's already been a reaction to that news from Zach Brown, CEO of McLaren Racing, saying it's not a question of if, but when we're going to see McLaren in GTP. And I know you probably, I don't know if you can mention names or not, I'd love for you to do it, but the strong rumor is that not only are we going to have 6 manufacturers in GTP next year when we have Aston Martin join us, strong rumor coming years after that could get to 7, could get to 8, maybe 9. True? Possible?
Well, first back to Le Mans. Really proud of our IMSA teams that went over there and in one way or another snatched all the pole positions. In the top category, in LMP2, in GT, each of our teams was on the pole. And in walking the grid walk the morning of the race, so many drivers and team members that had earned the place to be there. Really proud to fly the IMSA flag. They put IMSA decals on their car for Le Mans. So that's what we want for them, those who win the Truman Award, the Aiken Award, you know, the George Kurtzes, the Brendan Uribes, and of course in the top category to have the Cadillac teams, the Porsche teams, the Lamborghini, you know, the BMWs, really proud of that. But you're right, that extension of the regulations till 29 continues our trend of stability. And allows the teams and the manufacturers that are currently in the top category to know they have a little bit longer runway. And to your point, there's the McLarens of the world that have been vocal about wanting to be in the top category. And I can confirm, and it's their announcements to make, that there are more. There are several more manufacturers looking at LMDH. Once again, it's their announcement to make, it's their research to do. We'll be here to support them and promote that involvement. But we're on to something with LMDH regulations that my IMSA teammates on the technical side have written those regulations, the Simon Hodgsons, Mad Curdox, Bill Pearsons, and we're really proud that that platform is growing and looks like it's going to continue to grow.
Let's stick with that for one more moment. So right now, with Lamborghini added in with their gorgeous new SC63, we have 5 GTP manufacturers. It'll become 6 next year with, we'll go ahead and call it, maybe the best sounding race car of V12 in the back of that Aston Martin Valkyrie, our friends at Heart of Racing who will be bringing those. So we'll be up to 6 manufacturers. Mentioned McLaren. We've heard one manufacturer that's already running in the WC saying, at least privately, they're looking over here. And then there's a couple more on top of that who are, you're confirming, talking to multiple other brands. What's the one thing in North American motorsports, at least, that folks dream of? Massive manufacturer participation. You talk about that formula. We're getting to, I mean, I'm not saying we're going to be at double digits in the next 2 years, but it's possible, which is insane in prototypes. We've never even seen that back in the original GTP days.
Yeah. So numbers don't lie. 18 auto manufacturers have decided that IMSA is the place for them, the platform for them, the value equation for them. So that's the facts. To have more considering it is further validation of that. There's the point of competing on track, and they all want to battle the best of the best, and that's what we have here in IMSA. they also want to activate on the midway. They want the fans here in the camping areas flying their flag. They want to leverage what they're doing on track in broadcast advertising, in social and digital advertising and promotions. So that's the reason why. Now to think about the growth is certainly validating to us, and also very exciting that more people believe that not only IMSA but the top category is the place where they need to be.
So notice he stopped because he had like that. You had to stop, a little mic drop there, which I fully appreciate. Let's talk about something else that's amazing, and this isn't PR, this is just saying what it is. GTP continuing to grow, more and more manufacturers looking to come in. Then you also have this new announcement as well, NBC. We're talking stability, John Doonan, president of IMSA. You, the awesome teammate of yours, CEO of IMSA as well. Everybody involved with the team here has created some amazing stability. You know exactly where IMSA is going to be on television for many years to come, and also the spotlight on featured channels as well. That is a huge thing that's happening too.
Yeah, I think if you look back the last 8, 10, 12 months, all of the announcements that we've been fortunate enough to be part of, either a manufacturer or a partner making an announcement, or us making an announcement about a partner, where WeatherTech, Michelin, VP Racing Fuels announce long-term extensions, OEMs announce new platforms and new cars, you know, Ford and Corvette bring GT3 cars to the table. Now, the capper, if you will, is that our broadcast partner, NBC, will continue with us in that same manner.
Is it through the year 3014? I think it was some crazy length.
Well, it's multi-year and it is long-term, and what they're bringing is more broadcast network television on NBC, and the continuation of live flag to flag on Peacock, which, as we pointed out at the opening, streaming, YouTube, the way that IMSA fans are taking in their content varies, but they're sophisticated and they're finding ways to take in the content, and we're seeing increases on Peacock of viewership to the tune of 150% year over year. So while the linear television on NBC grows, that Peacock streaming, that YouTube that we talked about at the beginning continues to grow. And for me and for Ed Bennett and Jim France and all my teammates at IMSA, that shows confidence, I think, and also gives me a great hope for the future that the young fans and the families here, there is another generation coming that is just as passionate about sports car racing as we are.
Let's close on this, John. So here we are, cruising through this year's championship, more endurance races on the calendar than we've had in Lord knows how long. How are you feeling? How are you feeling as we look at the GT fields, GTP fields? This season's going to keep firing along until we get to that end of the 10 hours at Motul Petit Le Mans. How are you feeling at the rough midway point?
Well, it's hard to believe we're at the midpoint, but when you can share with the world the kind of announcements that we've been sharing since really Petit Le Mans last year, with solidifying our top corporate pillar partners, seeing the grids that we've seen in WeatherTech, in Michelin Pilot, in the single makes, for example, and anybody who will see an aerial shot of the paddock this weekend, or anybody that's here on site, knows that we cannot fit any more transporters in the paddock or any more cars in the garage area. So that instills confidence. And again, I think when you break it all down, there's no other sports car championship in the world that has 18 manufacturers that have decided to race here. There's no other sports car championship in the world that I think can stand on the foundation that was established many years ago by the France family and the Bishop family, when they said IMSA should be a place for people to come racing at whatever level they'd like, whether it's a single make championship, whether it's multi-class, or whether it's racing for the Bishop France Trophy. And for me, being a fan of it, like you and I were growing up, it gives me a lot of confidence about where we are today, but also where we're headed.
You know, speaking of where we're headed, I think we should close with some amazing fans behind us who have an incredible setup, if they'll welcome us into their...
Well, I smelled some fresh burgers or brats on the grill back there, and maybe we should head back and grab one of those.
I like that. Evening, y'all.
Hey guys.
We are celebrating amazing IMSA fans and their campsite setup. Love the flags.
Let's go.
I love the rooftop camping arrangement.
Absolutely.
That is phenomenal. By
Appreciate
the
you
way,
guys being
say
out
hello to IMSA President John Doonan.
John Doonan, what's up?
Thanks for being out here.
Nice to meet
Appreciate
you.
your
Nice to
loyalty.
meet you. Murph, nice to meet you.
Murph,
How's it going? Joe.
enjoy the weekend.
Brian, nice to
I
meet
know
you.
you're braving a lot of conditions
Thank
out
you, sir.
here, so thanks for coming out. We appreciate you, and hopefully we put on a great show for you this weekend.
Absolutely, yes, sir. You always
Every
do.
year.
Yeah, awesome.
Every year.
Enjoy.
We appreciate it very much.
Yeah,
See
take
some
care,
rain
guys.
racing and no lightning strikes to end it.
Make sure you follow along with us on IMSA's official YouTube channel and follow IMSA Racing on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and X. We're going to be doing some pretty cool stuff with some pretty cool people with some pretty cool race cars. Visit IMSA.com to hear the action called live and download the official IMSA app to follow the timing and scoring information as the sessions take place.